And even as 3 young lives have been lost in the national capital, all we are seeing is just blame game and zero accountability. So far, 7 people have been arrested. 6 of them either related to the Rao's IS coaching center or the building from which the institute was being run. The 7th person to have been arrested, believe it or not, is the driver of the SUV, Manoj Kathuria, who actually is seen in some visuals driving past this basement. His crime, viewers, and of course you'd find it hard to believe, is that the SUV caused ripples in the waterlogged street, which is said to have caused the gate of the coaching center to get damaged. Let's take a quick look at some of the reasons cited by the police today for arresting the driver while opposing his bail plea in the court. This is the first logic, that the driver didn't slow down the vehicle on a waterlogged street. The second logic is that he didn't apply the brake and created waves in the water. The third logic is that had he stopped, waves wouldn't have been formed. The fourth logic is that the man is a local and he knew about the basement. Logic number 5, he is a masti khor, quote unquote, and did everything out of fun. Now, these are the arguments that are coming in from the police that is, of course, under pressure. The biggest irony is that officials of the PWD, MCD and other departments that should have actually done, the Jal Board, the Delhi DJB, for instance, nothing has happened to any of those officials, but it's the Aam Aadmi who's actually being prosecuted in this entire case. The shocking case of 3 UPSC aspirants losing their life in a flooded basement in the national capital has sent shockwaves across the country. Of course, there has to be accountability. But what is really bizarre about this case is that while no official from the MCD, from the Delhi Jal Board, from the PWD and other departments of either the government or the MCD have been held accountable, despite the fact that there were complaints, one of the accused in this particular case who has been arrested is Manoj Kathuria, the person who was driving past and who the police say, because of his SUV driving past, sent waves through that entire area and broke down the gate, which led to water rushing into that basement. Shima joins us at the moment. She's the wife of Manoj Kathuria. Shima, let me begin by asking you, can you take us through what happened on the day of the tragedy and how did your husband land up in the middle of this entire controversy?
So on the day of the tragedy, there were 2 colleagues. There were 2 colleagues who were stuck at home because it started raining incessantly. Now my father-in-law called Manoj and he said that since they're stuck because of the rain, he asked him to go and drop them to the Karol Bagh metro station, which is not very far from our house. Manoj, the 2 gentlemen, they sat in the car and Manoj drove towards the station. And when he came back, he told me that there was a lot of water. There was a lot of waterlogging and on the road, and the water had come up till the bonnet of the car, and then he came home. He didn't think much into it because there was waterlogging. He drove through it. That's what anybody would do if your car is stuck in a situation like that. So he said at one point he saw that there was a gentleman who was walking on the road and water was till the calves till his calves, and he thought that it's a safe enough level for the car to go through that water. But the moment he took a turn, he realized that the water had gushed till the bonnet of his car, and in a situation like that, if many of us drive, we all know that in a situation like that, there is no backing off. You cannot back the car. The only way forward is to move ahead. Like the car has to keep moving, otherwise it will stall in the middle of that situation. So he was doing what any regular person on the road would have done, stuck in a situation like that. He was just driving through that waterlogged road, trying to get to a safer spot, and that's what he did. He came back home, and in the morning we read about the tragic incident that happened at the academy, and I even spoke to my husband and I said, you must have been around the area when this incident had happened, and until then also we had not realized that he was exactly in front of the academy when probably it happened. the next day on Sunday at about 5:36 p.m., the police showed up, saying that his car had come in a video, was seen going in front of the academy, and they had to take him to the police station along with the car for regular questioning, since he was there when the incident happened. So he complied, and he went to the police station, and within 20 or 30 minutes my father-in-law gets a call from Manoj, and he said that they are arresting him. Obviously all of us panicked and we rushed to the police station, and we did not even know what the charges are, why they are arresting him, and what his fault was for driving through a waterlogged road.
Absolutely.
Later at night we got to know about all the charges, and they refused despite many attempts from our legal counsel to get a copy of the FIR. We were not handed anything till the next day in the evening when the hearing started. And I think by law they're supposed to give an FIR copy. They said that it's a sensitive case, so we cannot give an FIR copy to anybody. It's a constitutional right to get an FIR copy when somebody is arrested before the court hearing, so that the legal counsel can prepare for the hearing.
Absolutely.
But they got to see the copy only in court.
Right. But, I want to begin by asking you, I'll also ask you, when you heard about these cases, about the fact that he's being detained because his vehicle passed through, what was did you really know that these are the specific charges? Did you find them bizarre? What was your initial reaction when you heard about this?
Absolutely, the charges were all bizarre. None of us in the family were expecting 105, 106, 290, like so many charges to be slapped on someone who is an innocent bystander just trying to get to a safe spot on a waterlogged road. A situation that was not created by him, it was created by the civic bodies who are responsible to take care of the drainage system and the roads and keep them in order.
Absolutely. Because we've seen today, for instance, when the arguments took place, the additional public prosecutor for Delhi police has said in court that when we see waterlogging, we slow our vehicles down. But this accused didn't do that. Mera to kuch nahi jayega, he must have thought. He didn't apply the brake and look at the waves. Had he stopped there, waves wouldn't have occurred. How would you respond to these kind of arguments which are coming in from the prosecution side?
No. As far as I know, but I would not like to, as far as I know, in that video, the brake lights are on, okay? And the car was not speeding. It was in first gear. The car in a situation like that you cannot drive a car in a situation like that at a speed of 5. In first gear, it must have been, I don't know what the exact speed must have been, but it must have been around 10, 15. The car has to move forward. At a speed of 5, it cannot move forward. The water will get into the water is still the bonnet of your car. What do? Water will get into the radiator and the engines, and the car will stall. So what the video is out there in the open for everyone to see, and I don't think his car is speeding.
Right. And one of the most perhaps bizarre, strange, whatever one chooses to call it, things is the Delhi police saying reportedly in the court that your husband Manoj is a masti khor or masti mein inhone ye sab kar diya. But from what you've told us, that's not exactly the case.
No. He was going to drop two gentlemen who were stuck in the rain to the metro station to a safe place so that they could get back home. And from there he was driving back home. So how does that make you why are you masti khor if you're trying to drop somebody to the metro station and come back home?
But how do you think they would have come up with an argument like that? Are there some other incidences? Is he somebody who's into, off-roading or adventure sports because this is an SUV? Is there some reason that they are saying this? Where is this all coming from?
I mean, only they would know. They're just trying to, they're doing what they have to do. We'll do what we have to do. I don't know where it's coming from.